So I just saw the movie. I don't even know what it's called now, but it's about the. I think it's Unfriend Me or something like that. Um, Current movie just came out, and very unique plot. It's all about these kids, college kids, um, still trying to get settled in life. Some of them are bachelors. Some guys, some girls. Two are. Now this is really as liberal as you can get. Not just lesbians, but one's black, one's white, and they're about to get married. And they're similarly liberal friends. They tell them they're getting there, and they're all so happy for them. And it's like, oh, this is just so great. This is what the world is really all should be like, you know. So they're sending it's a Hollywood movie sending a message about, you know, the way they think it's the perfect version of the world, where not only can women marry, but black and white women can and should fall in love and marry, and everybody should be just happy and peaches and roses. But anyways, that's an aside. I mean, for Christians, as you know, or at least conservative Christians, or what I call real Christians, and you know, we don't agree that, you know, same-sex attraction is a good thing. But that's not the point of this movie review. Although I do ask my fellow Christians to pray about that subject, not to bash. I'm not here to bash that kind of thing, and I don't ask others. I don't encourage that. I encourage you not to bash, but to pray for people to see the light and not be led astray by the liberal agenda. Anyways, these kids get together on computers from time to time via Skype and Face, whatever they call it. I don't do this myself. Face mail or Face video, Facebook video. They talk to each other face to face, you know, from their own house to apartment or wherever, on their laptops and computers or handheld device or whatever it is. So they all get together at the same time to chat. Now the main character, he just got a new laptop. And he tells his friends he bought it on Craigslist, but actually he found it in the Lost and Found, and where he said it's been sitting for 2 or 3 weeks, and he finally decided, hey, why shouldn't I just take it? So he takes it, starts looking around on it, finds that there's a whole bunch of stuff on it, and it's pretty creepy stuff. And all this is, he's discovering all of this on his new laptop, all the while he's chatting with his friends, and also with his girlfriend, with whom he's having a little bit of a difficult relationship. And she happens to be deaf. So they can't talk that well because he doesn't know sign language. He's trying to learn it. But mostly he just has to spell it out, or I guess she reads his lips, but he has a hard time understanding her, so. And then all the while he's like getting these messages from somebody he doesn't know, whoever's laptop it was. One thing leads to another. Suddenly he finds himself on the so-called dark web, and things just get darker and darker and worse as it goes on. Not just for him, but him and his friends and his girlfriend. Now, I mean, this film is actually kind of interesting just because of the way they set it up. So unique. Although it did kind of remind me of one that I saw before, which was also about Facebook friends or something like that. It's a horror movie. This is actually kind of a horror movie itself in a different way. So anyways, without talking about the whole movie and telling all the details, I'll just say this, that you just don't want to toy around with the dark side. There are priests and pastors and certain Christians who say they are knowledgeable and able to do exorcisms and things like that, and they dabble in that, but then there's others who just like toying around with it, with the dark side, like Ouija boards and even consulting psychics and fortune tellers, so-called fortune tellers, and tarot cards and things like that. And I just think you should stay away from that totally. I really think that's dabbling with the darkness. And I listen to this radio show called Coast to Coast with George Norrie. Maybe some of you have heard of it. Sometimes he has some interesting guests, and they interview them, but other times it's all about fortune telling or remote viewing, I guess they call it, tarot reading, astrology, things like that. That's when I almost usually immediately turn it off. If you don't even want to dabble it, you don't want to get hooked on it, you don't want to get interested in it. As for the UFO stuff that he does, some of that's, I don't know, just ridiculous. I'm not saying that's dangerous to listen to, but it's sort of like, listening or just kind of being fascinated with maybe like fiction, with Star Wars and things like that. It's not so bad, but remember that it's probably not real. That the people are lying, I think, in a lot of cases about seeing these UFOs. And I guess that's their way of getting attention or making them feel important or whatever it is. But I turn it off. I turn off that as well. So, but back to the movie. I'm just saying the lesson of this movie, if any, and things to pray about and think about, is to stay away from the dark side. Don't dabble with it. Especially don't, get entertained by it and dabble in it. If you're somebody who thinks you have strong enough spiritual strength to deal with trying to exorcise demons, well, that's up to you. If you're trained and educated and spiritualized, you have enough spiritual maturity to handle that. That's a whole different story. But I guess I'm just talking to the regular person, average Christian. Don't play with that stuff. Stay away. Think good thoughts. Keep your minds on holy, pure things. And avoid dabbling with the dark side. And pray for those who get involved in it. There's a lot of people who do get hooked on that kind of stuff. And there really is a dark web. So I've heard. I don't know how you get into it and all that stuff, but you really got to stay away from that kind of stuff. And all the other garbage and junk that's on the internet. And I would even encourage people to meet face to face. None of this like video, messaging and stuff like that. Once in a while, I guess if there's no other alternative, but if you can get together and real people, real lives, and pray together and talk together, encourage each other in their Christian lives, that's preferable. God be with you all and bless you. Keep shining the light. Keep growing in faith. Keep telling the good news. Keep believing.